falls like dominoes. We're seeing one of the damages go down. May able to keep herself alive.
Another.
We see the May all go out and does. Again, the Ramatra goes down. This might be the game here, folks.
30 seconds on the clock. We see the Baptiste trying to buy some time for the rest of his team.
We see
Kiriko
Tengen
just pushing the Sojourn.
Destroying their Sojourns. The lifesteal as well. Just the damage, sorry. And here we see the barrier go out. Barrier out with Ramatra ult, and he just pushes in and does damage to everything in his radius. Genji unable to escape May's ice wall, and the entire team pushing up, destroying Union and pushing them all the way back into the hallway there.
And then we go right back into the game.
Right back into the game, and we see the Ramatra ult going off, and he's doing a lot of damage to our entire team right now, but it's not in fact. And it seems like we have a technical error, folks. We're getting a look at the team here.
It is, you could see their reactions. They are so disappointed.
Philo here, how well the team was really working. That communication from game 1 really coming into game 2 and seeing each team, they were both playing a more controlled, poke-heavy play style.
Commentate over.
Honestly, this is honestly as intense, as important, and as amazing as the actual game we're watching. The Torb Hammer one.
Might even be more intense than the championships.
Absolutely. We do see the Union's team being very aggressive, trying to push in, trying to take a lot of health off of Damon. And then we
see the May wall going out, singling out the Genji.
They cannot dismantle their team when she keeps continuing to do.
And we do see Tengen with the rest of his team take out the Ramatra, and we are in overtime already, folks.
And Tengen really showing us that DPS
and there we go.
She has, and that is the round.
Since the new meta came out, I was kind of a brawl specialist, so I was always playing like heroes like a Ramatra, Reinhardt, Junker Queen, and all that good stuff. And the new meta really calls for a dive composition if possible, and he gets that boost. It's not going to be enough to sustain one tank.
No. Even with
that is what I like to see. Oh, we're gonna see another one too.
At the same time.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing, but the thing is, if we do, oh my goodness!
Not only the double boop there, but also seeing a good team by your back, able to if you do screw it up, able to give you the
we're having a lot of trouble.
We do see a lot of immediately the Philo ult just going off, that May ult freezing a good portion of their team.
Oh,
and
excellent job.
Brookdale just going in and sweeping up everything left.
Yo, and Junker Queen going off, shaking up. Ooh, what a great save from Tengen.
Hopefully Union gets a little out of position here. And we're seeing
the AoE go down. Hopefully we can see Anakin use that ult.
And here we're seeing it. Chubb's a little too far ahead, able to get May walled off and absolutely taken down by Brookdale, allowing the team to push up and sweep what's left.
And it's really going to shake up Union. And we're seeing another ult go off right now.
Tried to go right for Chubbs. Union's Kiriko is able to stop him, but not save him. What a way to end the map. What a way. The team just crumbling under the pressure.
And let's check out this play of the game from Philo. Excellent job. One
right in the head.
Down. Two goes
down.
We do see that Symmetra ult going down, able to get some great defense for Brookdale.
Absolutely
able to shut down that Reaper ult.
To set them up in.
Or just teleport in. Teleporter, get it right in there. AoE is going down, getting up close and personal with the Winston. I don't think Union was expecting this.
I don't think so either, and
hey, we weren't expecting it.
I'm loving it.
And the enemy, oh
my
my goodness.
Philo showing off why he's the May.
Oh,
yeah, and absolutely.
Going in with the, did you see that
headshot?
And it looks like we may have the chance to take it.
An extremely close game here. If Union stays on it for any longer, it's their game, and if we push them off, it's ours.
We are so close. We just need to get rid of this Reaper.
Beating down that Reaper with melees and able to get us the game.
Able to get the objective.
Oh, yeah.
Just before enemy Lucio can...
Allowing us to win overtime. That was a crazy match, honestly. I think it was really interesting to see both teams adopt a similar
Hello. Welcome back to another Brookdale Overwatch Esports stream. It'll be week 6, and it's going to be Brookdale versus Bryant Stratton. I really hope I pronounced that right because my pronunciations are terrible on these streams. I'm Void. This is Monk.
How are you guys doing? We're going to be here for another interesting game as there's going to be a lot of matches played today. Brookdale's going across multiple teams. I believe Brookdale, Bryant, and Stratton.
I believe it's just one.
Is it? I don't know. These are just copies. Whoopsie.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it's just one team. I was here last time they played this team too. And
Is that
I
their
get confused. Name? Yeah, Bryant Stratton. I'm pretty certain.
I didn't know
certain.
that. I'm like.
This is also, if I remember correctly, which don't listen to me. I have a terrible memory. I believe this is one of the teams Brookdale has struggled against in the past. So we're going to be in for a very interesting game in the future.
Absolutely.
In the future, I say like it's nearby in the next couple minutes here.
Absolutely agree.
So,
I just really wonder how it's going to be played out because if we do have previous history going into this, we know our team is very advanced and especially interesting and jumping on the gun with new ideas, new strategies, and more. So if we've run into this team before and struggled, I think our team is going to be able to pick apart the weaknesses within the prior matches and analyze their game plan afterwards and seeing how they could reapply the new situation to this match. And it's going to be interesting to see our game plan here because we've had situations where our team is flawlessly playing through brackets, but the moment we get counterpicked, it's over from there. But there's also some kind of idea and semblance that the enemy team also might be hoping to do the same thing, and maybe we'll see new, fresh ideas here. I'm really kind of curious on seeing where the meta is going to lie here, especially with the support lineups here and the tank compositions, and seeing just how everyone's going to be going with the flow of the match.
It absolutely. And to kind of add on to that a little bit, after, not last week, but I think it was 2 weeks ago, if you include the bye, the last time we were both casting together, the Brookdale played a game where they struggled pretty hard, if I remember correctly. It might have been us, it might have been me and Maddie. I don't remember. No, I'm thinking of the one where they rolled the other team, and then after that, we had a very rough game. And I'm thinking, before spring break, and I'm thinking Brookdale, I remember talking to the team after that, and they took a lot out of that, and I think they really went back in their scrims. They practiced, they worked on their communication, they worked on, et cetera. I'm hoping, because this is a team they typically struggle against, but I'm really hoping we see a big comeback here, because I know Brookdale has it in them. It's going to be difficult, but I believe in them, and with the practice, recognizing their faults, especially after that last game that they lost, I think they're really going to pull it out here.
Absolutely. I hope to see the same thing too here. I haven't been playing Overwatch much myself, so I'm kind of like defamiliarized with what's really new after the perks were added. I know our last stream I was pretty up to date on it, but I don't know if it's still the same thing or if anything else has been changed. All I know is that Malga has been gutted and everyone can shout hip hip hooray as he only heals about like 40% back now.
Yeah, Malga is a menace. I am kind of glad we haven't been seeing as much of him, and even then I feel like the last time we still saw some of him, like even then. He's still like
very oppressive.
He's still very oppressive, even with the nerfs.
With the right picks here. My only thing is that you kind of have like a triangle of Malga, and then you have Orisa that beats Malga, and then Orisa also beats Hog, but then Hog beats Malga, and it's like it's a weird triage because there's like counters and it's like rock paper scissors.
No, it really isn't. That's what the counter.
It's a little annoying because it's like all three of those tanks have been kind of like severely micro buffed to some sort of degree within the season or meta at like various points consistently throughout Overwatch 2's period, and it's kind of like annoying, but I'm kind of glad that tanks are kind of like going down. I just don't know I don't think they know what they want to do with the role because they just tried over buffing tanks, they tried over nerfing tanks, they tried balancing tanks, they tried adding new tanks.
I mean, they clearly want the tank to be the center point of the team, and I mean, they've gotten that kind of, but then also
with the 6v6 game mode, I feel like that feeling is very accomplished.
Yeah, I feel like when they went to 5, they wanted that tank to be the center point of the team, but when you have only one tank, it almost becomes, I feel like, too over-reliant.
And the problem is when there's a center point and a core weakness to a team, you could just focus the tank, and the tank just has a miserable time, and nobody wants to play tank.
Whereas in 6v6, when you have 2 of them, it's
you at least have someone else to cover your back with resources and
secondary
tools.
Side tank.
And genuinely speaking, I feel like 6v6 with Overwatch, between these new perk updates and more, is slowly starting to feel like Marvel Rivals. But as I said last time I was here, which I think was like 3 or 4 weeks ago at this point,
a little bit.
They need more. We need more out of the game. We need more testing. We need more playing. And I really don't think the 5v5 should really exist because it pulls away from queue times. because now it adds an extra person waiting in queue times. You pull away from that tank experience, so now somebody else has to suffer miserably, and it just takes away. And I just think that having 6v6 would be way more healthier for pro play.
It probably would, but
I mean, can you imagine our team playing this 6v6? Like, I just want to see the entire backline just get demolished by like a Diva ball or like a Doomfist ball.
Yeah, and honestly, it feels like they are working to get 6v6 back in the game in one way or another. I mean, they are adding that new game mode coming up that I believe. I don't know if it's going to be 6v6. I don't remember, but I know it's going to have third person at least, which is interesting. Definitely taking notes from rivals there. I don't know. In general, I feel like Overwatch has been making good steps towards a more interesting game, which I'm very glad about.
But there's much more to work on.
There's much more to work on, but in the limited time that we can talk about this, I think they've been making good steps. As long as they stay on the path, I can say I'm pretty happy with what's going on. It kind of sucks that it took more rivals coming out for it to happen, but I'm glad it's happening, you know? Anyway, moving into the game, we don't know which map they're going to be picking yet, but we do know
we do know, actually.
Do
It's
we?
Oasis
Is it
on
Oasis?
Control.
Right, we always know for the first one.
Afterwards, we don't know.
Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me, guys.
He might be a little delusional.
A little bit. No, but we're going to be starting on Oasis Control, moving into hybrid.
If I do not see Anakin's Reinhardt. Oh,
Arctic
stand corrected. It's going to be Arctic Peninsula. And it's going to be a little interesting because I wonder what they're going to bring out for that map because it's a lot more of like a poke-orientated map.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
We'll probably see like a Pharah somewhere.
Well,
and then
last time we also
response.
started on that map last week, and we saw them pull out. I think they actually started with Malga. They started with Malga for the poke, and then the other team, I believe, I don't know if it was a Malga duel or the other team picked Orisa. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, we saw Brookdale absolutely demolish.
Two valid responses against Amalga whenever you do see one.
100%. Oh, God damn it, I'm getting distracted by the Splatoon in the background. But yeah, no.
Our Antarctic Peninsula is one of my least favorite maps. I hate that map so much. It feels so, like, brawl-orientated.
Yeah, I feel like
it feels like it rewards you just, like, sitting in that tight corner with your hammer or your Reaper shotguns. Just going pew, pew, pew,
I'm
pew.
kind of
and
a
then
fan
if they
of
don't
that.
walk past it, you wait.
Yeah.
If they do walk past it, you just pew, pew, pew a little bit more, and then either you die or they die.
It's a very tight map. I feel like there's a lot of points where it's just like if you maintain center, you win. Like like that one. I want to say it's second point, but I'm not sure. I don't even remember. Whatever. The one where it's got like the ramp on it. That one. That one where there's the hallway and then there's the tight hallway to the right and then the kind of slightly more open hallway to the left. I feel like that's if you get control of that point and you get a lock on those two places the other team can come through, it's very hard to get past the team. It's very easy to lock and control. Whereas in the other point, which is really open, and you've got that higher up walkway to the left and then those multiple entrances to the right, it's a lot easier. You can get your flying characters up over the top, you get your Pharas or your Echoes over the top, and you can have the team go in through the left or right. I feel like that typically that map
that really specific map I like a lot more, but the rest
I agree. But the other ones, they can be very tight and very struggle. They could be a real struggle if you're on the back foot. Like literally, the last game we saw Brookdale play on that first map, they just kind of dominated because they got that point and then pushed advantage with they staggered them, they pushed advantage, and that was it. It really was as simple as that.
It was simple as that, and I hope to see something interesting with this map. I personally don't like this map. I mean, I play Tracer, I play Genji. I don't like any brawl maps because then I kind of just get swung with a giant hammer in my face. I don't like that. I kind of like just like zooming around and being
able to get your assassinations, just be
a nuisance.
Yeah. Be a little pest, like I always like to call Tracer. I love Tracer, but like, God, mosquito coated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because in MOBAs, my playstyle is completely different, but Overwatch, it's completely different, which at a higher tier level of Overwatch, it does play more like a MOBA.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
But even just having that first person and like that more control over your character, I get it. Like the differences in feeling of controlling it between a MOBA and a first-person shooter is just like, I think that alone would warrant the playstyle change.
Completely. Controlling yourself in first person feels a lot more better.
Yeah. I'm
the
very
positioning is like life or death even as a flanker.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you get punished for going on flanks in Overwatch, but like
less.
Tracer, Sombra, Genji, you all have your dash to escape. In a MOBA, you get pinned? Goodbye. Goodbye.
It's so much more punishing. It is, and I really like playing MOBAs, but I hate that feeling of overextending and then just like there's nothing I can do here. I can't play the game.
And but at least like it makes me want to go back to Overwatch a few times because I like being Tracer and I like just blinking out and just baiting all the cooldowns and all their
It's
resources.
fun. It really is fun. I love movement in these kind of games, and especially with those movement-heavy characters like you've got your Tracers. I love playing Magic and Rivals, etc. I just love that vibe. Being able to zoom around. Really excited for the game to get started here.
Man.
Don't know when that's going to be, but really excited
It's
about
gonna be very
it.
exciting when it does.
When it does, yeah, I'm hyped.
Absolutely.
But like, we sure are waiting. So look forward to that. We've got we panned over the team a little bit earlier. I should have probably pointed out when it was happening, but we've got our Anakin Sims, Remix, May dash Philo, whatever we're calling him today. Cortexa, Opposite, and Abstract right now, and we'll get that probably.
Classic lineup.
I would assume that we're doing Anakin Sims tank, Remix May, DPS.
Probably
and,
something like that.
Oh, right, yeah, because we have 6 here. One of them's a sub. Sorry, my bad. And then I would assume probably Abstract, Cortexa as supports. Maybe switch Remix for Opposite at the start. We typically do like to start Opposite and then switch to Remix. So we'll see. Look forward to that, though, especially if they are doing the Antarctic map. Probably going to want Junkrat, I imagine. Yeah, so maybe start Remix.
Map.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot more beneficial.
Yeah, especially with the, yeah.
You have a May to set up the choke lines and everything.
Assuming Philo hasn't played May a lot recently.
But, like, it's Antarctic Peninsula.
It is kind of like the
way
May
too
map.
Impactful.
Yeah. We'll see
It's
it.
like you just make everyone's life miserable around you, and it makes you feel so much better about yourself.
Love just like getting them in that, that one hallway right above the control on the right or left side.
Walling that. Or
walling the retreat point there and just getting their
It's
tank
so
stuck.
satisfying.
Yeah. Oh.
Man,
God.
you're like itching that voice in my brain that's telling me to play more, and it's like, no.
Well, that's what happens when you cast Overwatch. It's just like, I'm gonna be so real. This game is one of the this gig is one of the main reasons I still have Overwatch downloaded. Every time I get out of here, I'm like, damn, I want to play some Overwatch. Oh, it's so fun. They're so
And then you wake
cool.
up the next day, and then you remember how awful Overwatch is.
Yeah, like I would agree, and on some degree I agree, but I feel bad fully trashing Overwatch when we're casting for it. Like there are good elements.
There's
to the
good
game.
elements.
There
It's not
are.
a wholly bad game.
No,
but
it has
like,
potential, and they're working on it.
It's
but
just
it's,
other
ooh.
things on the market right
Yeah.
now that have interested me.
Which for the most part is good. There should be competition. It shouldn't just be Overwatch 2 is the hero shooter to play nothing else.
I mean, I just also play like I've been playing more recently a lot of roguelikes, specifically Hades and Isaac.
Oh, yeah, I love Hades. I need
love
to play
Isaac.
some more of that. I haven't touched it yet. Okay, I'm sorry. We're just hearing the most interesting news ever from our production right now. Apparently, it's going to be a 4v5. Brookdale 5, them 4. That
I guess the
is
enemy team needs a
interesting.
mercy.
Production, if we get a little more information, is that because they're missing a player? Or is that because it is allowed? Okay, interesting. All right.
Well, just have a mercy. Res on standby.
That's either because they're really confident. Again, we've said, okay. So apparently they are just doing it because they chose to. Okay, that's interesting. Wow.
Wow.
Twitch chat, you probably imagine what I'm going to say to that. So I'll just let you guys let your imagination run wild. It's going to be an interesting game, though. I'll tell you that much. I would
It's gonna
love
be
to see
completely
Brookdale.
interesting if somehow the bag is completely fumbled.
See,
But we've
they
seen
are
many
still
other
a
people
very.
fumble the bag on our stage against us. So I really don't think that we will. But the stakes are
I would
currently
like to see
on
them-
because
I would
pride
l-
and everything is on the line.
Yeah, this is a significantly more interesting game already. They are calling out Brookdale. They are calling out Brookdale right now, and I, for one, would like to see Brookdale maintain their pride on their home turf here against Bryant Stratton. You cannot just disrespect us like that. I'm going to be honest. Brookdale,
Going down one willingly is crazy work.
it's
especially
crazy.
in Overwatch.
Not even Brookdale's done that. We've had our fair share of teabags on screen, but like, ooh.
We've had our fair shares of disrespect, and chat messages slowly flying by against the enemy team. But this This is
This
different.
is like I've never heard of this in my life. This is gonna go like no matter what, this is gonna go down in the books as oh my god, this
Maybe
just
they'll
happened?
willingly get one more into like the next match.
Like my god. That is just insane. But it looks like we are going to be going into the game very shortly, so look forward to it. Look forward to it. I'm at a loss for words.
Look forward to
oh
it
my
as we're
god.
right about there.
Yeah,
You
I
can
mean,
see
here
we
it
cut
is.
away.
Now you can see it. They really are
Down one.
We sure can hear their comms right now. That's remarkably interesting. Anyway, as I was going to say,
It clearly looks like that the backline on the enemy team wants to go for more of a glass can type of play. As you can see, where they're missing the one person. So you can see
and
the
they're
Faro
playing
with the
without
Zen
one
here.
support.
Now the thing is very interesting. I think they want to rush a fight immediately as fast as possible.
That
Never
makes
mind,
sense.
that was a manual restart.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Jeez, the 4v5.
So it clearly looks like our backline is looking for more of a brawl rush type of scenario with the Lucio and the Juno constantly speeding us out. My personal take is that Juno has been gutted beyond repair between the ult costs and the healing nerfs. And I really don't think that she
I don't
is
know,
that
because
great
I
right now.
still
because I
see
agree that
constant
speed
play
is
with
very
her, though.
nice and that you see constant usage of her, but is it the same usage as like a Mercy? Just because she's popular.
Well, no, but also like with the ult and with the healing, I feel like the range healing, especially you got a lot more range with your healing than Mercy, which can be very helpful.
I
for certain comps.
agree with that, but the problem is that they've gutted so much of her kit.
Yeah, that's right.
Between
She
her
has
ult,
definitely
between
been nerfed,
torpedoes,
but like
between the overall
I still think
damage
there's
output and the healing.
especially it seems like they're going for a bit more of a. It seems like they're going for a bit more of
a brawl.
range. Yeah, like a comp that benefits Juno. I feel like.
And absolutely, I feel like they're going to benefit with the speed ring and then act as a
Oh, we
four-man
really are
dive
going.
with-
We really are going Torb, huh? That's the Philo I know
Well,
and love.
it's really funny because a lot of the meta has kind of revolved around that. But now what's even more interesting is that what is their backline? So you see the Sojourn on the enemy team here.
Yeah. What is that? What
And
are they playing? Oh, here we are.
Hazard.
Okay, so Hazard, Ilari, Sojourn, Kiriko. Okay, so they are just dropping a DPS.
And it
That
looks
makes sense.
more of like a like they clearly the backline between Ilari and Sojourn are meant to get picks while the dive
Yeah.
is meant to be centered around Sojourn and Kiriko and Hazard.
Absolutely.
And our backline has been dropped. Torborn gets mauled.
Torb already gone. And,
We're trying to aggress on their backline for pressure, but it's not
Ramatra
met.
having a terrible time, losing Lucio as well.
And we're down 2 into a
Ooh.
4v3?
Oh my god. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Brookdale pushing back in, though. That speed from Juno coming in handy in this situation, particularly trying to get everyone back
My
to the front lines
personal
as quickly
take
as
is that
possible.
if we just have a similar support here, we should be fine. Our DPS needs to be a lot less brawly and a lot more aggressive, I think, against their Sojourn especially.
Yeah.
Because with Sojourn and Lari, they're practically making up for the missing DPS while making up for support.
Yeah.
2 rolls all at once. If they stay near, Lari doesn't have to worry about being too far to heal. Look, Anakin gets kited
pushing
back
in
down.
really hard
With
here.
no nemesis here, he's forced to go ahead and put up his barrier and start aggressing.
Trying to
He has
take down
support
Lari,
and
yeah.
speed from
Boom,
the
gone.
teammates. Runs over Lari with the assist from Lucio and Juno. Overclock is popped and
Ooh,
opposite is soon
3v3
dropped.
now.
Off screen, Hazard takes out Torbjorn. During the overclock, Cortexa gets mauled. There is no B online to stop this, as
Oh my
Cortexa only has that
God.
53. The other thing is that I want to mention another key thing. Between having a missing person, there's a lot more of a demand for healing and just focus being averted onto the people that are alive, and this really sped up their ultimate cycle. Look at the
Yeah.
Sojourn. He already got all the damage out because there's statistically more people shooting at him than people shooting back at his tanks. So there's more room to be able to be aggressive to
Yeah.
make that damage. Kiriko has more time to heal. Now he has Kitsune. Lari ult is almost online. There's been so much damage. Oh,
Whoa,
much damage.
okay,
Hazard
okay.
gets ult, but he soon dies afterwards. High
High
Noon is
Noon
popped and used for
wasted,
zoning here
oof.
against the Sojourn here. Absolutely nothing comes out. Kitsune is soon popped out afterwards.
Point almost
Lari
taken
ult
for
soon
Brookdale.
comes online. There's been a swap to ball here with the Sojourn soon falling. The Kitsune gets 0 value because there's no teammates. That's the downside to this dangerous duel they've decided to take, putting themselves down 1. And
I'm expecting
Lari
an
soon
ult
gets ran over.
very soon.
Ball is running a
Yeah.
backline. Running a train on the backline.
Very concerned about the ball here.
Juno gets bogged. There's nothing you can really do, and Kiriko can keep rotating, so it's just going to constantly put the Ramatra on the toe. There's no center point they can really control here. The backline has to play next to Ramatra, and if that's the case, they risk putting themselves in danger from the poke from Sojourn Ilari, and Ilari ult soon comes out. You hear it go off. Cortex is soon mauled by the ball in the backline.
There's the ult.
May trades out on set here, the Ilari. Ball is low and has to retreat here, so the backline just is feast or famine.
Whew. Nice job, Anakin, there. Getting a couple good kills.
And it's interesting here because of how much they've been staggering because there's only one more person. It's like the engages have been very on and off to the point where now they're at 60%. I think one more team fight and Bryant Stratton is put at a major disadvantage to be able to try to engage off of it.
Yeah. For lagging one of their teams.
Zoning is happening here while he's looking for an engage with the ball. Point pressure is being taken here, and they're going to be forced to drop here. Lucio's getting dove into the backline, and B is forced. Overclock is online. This could be a disaster. Mines are soon dropped onto the point. Trades come out as backlines are taken. DPS are taken also as Half-Dread is traded, but Miro is completely out. Sojourn and Juno off. Ball gets taken out, and it just looks like plain and simple rulebook. You play by numbers. Who is there to really contest anymore? As May soon pops his ult. Overclock sending havoc across everyone. There is no one to overclock in the first place.
My God. What a match.
That was very scary.
Coming so close to the wire just at the beginning there. Brookdale able to pull an insane comeback. Like you said, staggering them insanely right at the middle there. Not allowing them to fully regroup. And even when they did, taking down their backline quickly enough that even with the overclock going off, even with the ball mines, they were able to safely dismantle this team, secure the point, and win.
Because mines plays, sure, you still have like the entire other team to go ahead and fight over that zone. And you have to fight them from reaching you.
Yeah.
It looks like their 5th player has joined as their ego has soon dropped. Brookdale doesn't win the game yet, but we win the metaphorical battle.
At least we do. We do win the metaphorical battle. Brookdale also saying, "Is this is okay?"
Brookdale allows it, knowing that they
Brookdale allows it.
Let it be known.
Switch of their team lineup, by the way, switching to Orisa and obviously
playing to counter here, knowing fully well that our backline doesn't have the damage to sustain against a cast Sojourn. They're mirroring the DPS, but they're not mirroring the backline, and that is completely the make or break difference. Oh, and the tank too. Those are the make or break difference here, as Orisa has the ability to sustain, while Ramatra on a Juno Lucio backline really doesn't have that ability to sustain.
Yeah.
We've seen Ramatra work in dangerous situations, especially with a Mercy Lucio backline, but against the invincible wall that Orisa is, I just don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
The Kiriko is keeping the wall up even when she doesn't have her cooldowns. And quite frankly, as Lois would say to Peter, the horse is here, Peter.
Is that really where we're taking that?
You see, they're fighting for this point control. The point has been capped, but there's no space to be able to contest it properly, so they have to go around this wrap.
Anakin.
Miro gets a pick, and soon with the pick on the Lucio, there's nothing to support Anakin here, and we're moving to 40 to 50%. Probably about 50% on the re-engage, so we only have about 1 and 1.5 fights, really, to take this point here.
Team's really going to have to pull together and make an insane push
really
to get
think
in there.
that the ults are useful here, but the Lucio ult is not there, and if we want speed, we should commit to one usage of speed. Oh, but Miro gets the ego and gets picked off by Torpedo. Brookdale knows they need a push with this. We use whatever ults we have online. The Kitsune to hold them off. The Annihilation to contest the Kitsune. Other ults are online. Terror Surge is popped.
Let's get that Orisa down. Come on.
Their Cassidy is offline while ours is too. Orbital is popped.
Lucio down.
Lucio is viciously building what's it called here? Beat.
Yeah.
Going from 50% to 30% from that fight. That is going to be the make or break difference. Because between the two Lucios here, we can see that they're scaling up on beat near similar numbers. I believe a better beat will come out on top.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of will Brookdale survive for a better beat? But that won't even matter because Anakin's so risky in this situation.
Constantly playing.
The overclock comes out and soon bodies fall one by one. They have 72%. Opposite pops his high noon and just doesn't look like anything that can happen here. The backline crumbles. I just don't think they have the support. Orisa's able to buy that time to allow Kiriko to heal everyone else, and when Kiriko needs to heal Orisa, it's just enough numbers that Lucio and Juno can't compete.
Absolutely. I don't even have anything.
Even with all the damage resistance, Fortify is significantly stronger than holding right click on Ramatra.
They are
because
pushing.
You have
they
to
are
sacrifice
pushing.
it. Beat pops off here. But the better beat comes out from Bryant Stratton. This could be very interesting as everyone's thrown into disarray with no support from Beat. The better beat comes out on top.
Oh my god. Bryant Stratton taking the game.
It's what I said. They have the ability to fight for way longer.
It really was whoever popped Beat first at the end of the day.
And all I'm saying is that if it was still a 4v5 and Brookdale didn't allow it by our will, we probably would have won.
Probably would have, but you know, Brookdale's a fair opponent. They're not just gonna say you decided this because of your ego. Now you're not gonna be able to play the game the way you want to.
They let people reflect on their decision and be better humans.
Absolutely. Even if it does mean that we're struggling harder now.
And we see the secret weapon of Brookdale is unleashed as a Torbjorn is picked. It will be very interesting though because like I mean I've seen like a Torbjorn with like 17k healing and like significantly more off of like a Lucio and a Kiriko with like 14k. And I think it's just very funny because he was just healing Ramatra with his hammer and the perk the entire time.
Yeah. I love the new love the new Torb changes.
Torpedo with nothing as we see there's a speed use, but there's nothing to be used off the speed outside of Anakin.
Anakin's got to be so careful.
But Anakin is thrown into the disposition here. The Hog is ignoring while the other backline is ignoring
the Hog's gonna go down?
It looks like both backlines focus to help each backline, but it doesn't matter.
Brookdale able to take the point.
I think it was very interesting that both backlines were thrown into situations in that they both equally focused each other while the tanks were not equally focused.
Absolutely. And also, interestingly, we see a switch to Ramatra on the other team. Seems like they're kind of trying to copy everything Brookdale's doing.
It's very interesting here. Now, as I'd like to mention that the composition has changed from Bryant. Now that they have an Ana Lucio, it's a lot more of a brawlier engage where Ana has time to stage next to Cassidy and Sojourn while she can just keep Ramatra up on a distance. You can see that the Ana is just sitting in the back and facilitating as they're able to brawl with Cassidy, Ramatra, and Lucio, acting as a trio core to brawl and engage. While we don't have anything to deal with the Ana ante, we have to respect and back it up no matter the scenario here. So it's going to be interesting on how we're going to be able to kite those antes out because there's really no other response right now.
No,
one well-placed ante. Antes, 4 of us. Oh my god, by God's will, we lived.
Just staying back generally, like you said, respecting it as hard as we can. Ooh, Anakin!
Anakin with 60, 90, 70,
God.
and slowly goes up. What a heart attack! And he doesn't do it.
No, he doesn't. Hey,
the enemy Nemesis comes out, and Ramatra has nothing to stand against the enemy Ramatra. It's all because of that Ana.
Really,
it's to the back line here.
Anything to cleanse here would be fantastic.
I really love and appreciate Brookdale's idea to brawl really aggressively, but I think Juno has been way too weak. You can't make up the numbers because Lucio doesn't have numbers to begin with.
Yeah.
You have to commit one or the other with speed control, and I get wanting to...
Oh,
we're done. Okay, I guess our W King is completely
my God!
We completely go away with W King. There is no punishment.
Beat him
comes out between Cortexa and Cassidy, but that might be very big.
Oh, both healers down too. Let's go.
It's so big here. There's nothing that their Lucio could regenerate with Beat, and Cortexa comes into the next fight with Beat online.
Hugest tank online. Able just to save them from.
I guess our W King is completely unregulated.
Oh my.
There is nothing you can do against the fabled W King.
Absolutely not. Sometimes. Oh, okay. What? It's
As a famous man known as Leroy Jenkins once said. His name.
The high noon? No, you're not getting that off.
Double high noon with the speed at 1 HP.
He does get it off. These man just
He gets it off. Anakin dropped to 28%.
Oh, unable to maintain.
The beat is dropped and forced as Annihilation and Better Beat comes out. There's no response against Better Beat. There is actually, and it's Torbjorn ult. And there were trades coming out. We see their backline completely traded for our backline. A DPS and support for a DPS and support. Philo being the only person left on point, completely slaughtered, left with his Molten Core on point. But who else to accompany him with that Molten Core?
His turret. That's all he had.
Nano comes out knowing fully well we're staggered and trying to regroup. We trade the high noon on the Nano, but it's way too much damage that we can't ignore. Obviously gets traded out with 96% on the board. May has to come in with the May touch and survive. Takes in 50%. Recall is forced. We see the Genji traded, but there's too many numbers on the point. Cortexa cannot rush there in time for the rollout, and there's nothing to touch.
Oh, my God. What a game. What a match. Yeah, what a round. My God.
1 game out of 5.
Out of 5. Yeah. Ooh.
What an interesting game.
Brookdale really showing that they were getting very close. It was like 60 when Bryant had taken it back. They needed one more good team fight, and I think they would have been able to have that match.
I think if they had more time on the clock, I think
absolutely they would.
The problem is that I think for their W key push, 110% would have it worked in every scenario in every world Dr. Strange could have predicted. Yes. Yeah. But the problem is we had to invest 3 to 4 ultimates for that. And by the time they fought back for the next fight, we had to beat early because Anakin ate a high noon damage. He didn't die to it, but we saw his sword and dropped to specifically 28%. And if that high noon didn't come out, I think Anakin would have been fine. But because that high noon came out, we were forced to beat. And we were forced to respond with ultimates. And because we beat it first, we lost against a beat-off. Yeah. And because we lost against a beat-off, we don't get to survive the fight.
It's just that simple. Whichever Lucio ult comes out first.
It's scary because I've seen so many pro matches that are completely decided by the matter of a split second of a beat. Because 1 second of Lucio ult means about 400 health.
And that's like
and if you played Overwatch even at the highest tier, you know that it's literally a game a second. It doesn't matter. And as we see this next match, King's Row is picked out. We see the Juno Torbjorn backline here. But now you can see that our team is clearly taking some time to process exactly what we needed there. And I think that Baptiste is exactly what we needed.
Baptiste is great. Having that extra, just like the mortality field,
I think 110% the immortality lets you be able to play aggressively. And a good immortality can allow a matter of...
A good immortality is like a mini
about 1 second of survival to 4 whole seconds of survival.
That can save you from
And the other thing is, especially with a brawlier type of composition, I think we're going to get a lot more value off of his splash healing versus Juno's singular healing. And I think Lucio had that splash healing, but it's not exactly the best.
Oh, this is a whole comp. Hold on, can we get a better look at this comp here? We got the Winston. No, he switched back.
It looks like he wants to get to the high ground up early to set up for the Widow.
Oh, okay. We were just getting ourselves set up there. I see.
But I really think this Baptiste is the answer to what we needed.
Absolutely. And also we see the Ashe, I think, is
the Ashe is a lot,
general bit more of a,
I think Ashe is a lot more standing on the pokier side of things, while Sojourn is a lot more divier. Mm-hmm. Ashe is a lot more pokier and consistent. And the Junkrat lets us also poke and brawl pretty aggressively, too. Anti-nade comes out. There's only one person that gets hit by it. We can see the tank soon walk up. The enemy team is looking for much more of a rush Jotes type of composition as Junker Queen
Anakin's got to be really careful against this. We have no way to cleanse.
The problem is that against Junker Queen, if you get isolated for a second, your team will collapse.
Which is what we saw happen to Anakin just now.
And it's very interesting that Junker Queen almost takes a sub-style of Brawl into a rush situation where you need those 3 seconds to shout to collapse and murder. Mm-hmm. And between Junker Queen, Lucio, and Cassidy, you don't have enough sustain here. While Brookdale needs to play their game a lot more slower and wait for the picks to open up.
It really needs to lean into the slower side.
But Remix obviously got picked off here by their Cassidy. So we're on the back foot here, delaying even more time. I think about 30 seconds to a minute. And it could be crucial here. Anti comes out, that's about 3 seconds of not frontlining. It's a matter. It's interesting because his first choke is so tight. If Anakin tries to walk up without his team, he will be punished severely. So it's a tough balance between how safe can the team engage.
Oh, come on. Let's go, Remix. You could do...
Oh, just as I was talking about. How safe can the team really follow up with Anakin versus how much will Anakin get punished for walking up without his team? And you
really
can see
needs
here.
to take a step back. She's always so aggressive, and against the Junker Queen, he can't play like that.
Problem is, there's Ana shots flying out, softening everyone out. There's Cassidy shots flying out, softening. And there's Lucio little picks and Junker Queen daggers flying in and out. And you'll take pick damage, and you'll eventually get a little bit low till they rush at you.
Yeah.
And you'll eventually get 4-man stomped, and that's what Junker Queen really thrives upon. The chaos of a fight and the disorganization, while Brookdale clearly wants a more organized tempo, waiting for the initial picks. And speaking of initial picks, we got one from Peace. Who knows why he was in the movie theater, but then he gets completely traded out as 3 of us are antied and Dragon Blade is popped! That anti decimated us. We don't know who's contesting that point right now. It looks like Bob is. Who's the man, the Bob?
Bob and Anakin on the
Anakin
point.
soon walks up behind Bob. Anakin trusting his life to that Bob sent out. And it looks like we're halfway through the point. High Noon is popped contesting it. He's forced to walk on the other side of barrier and take damage from the other side, but he blows up to Remix. We're starting to win. Point is at 66%. How much longer can we hold on as ults come out? With entire Team 3 anti opposite falls. Cortexa below half. Anakin forced to use Annihilate, stay up below half.
Ahead, hoping
Who knows how much more this Junker Queen can run a train across our back.
Come on!
Orbital comes out, giving us a little bit of sustain and damage, but the B comes out to fight against it. No, it doesn't.
Mortality
Numbers are coming out. Immortality comes out, but it doesn't look like it's enough. The chaos of the fight is way too much. Junker Queen, Genji, and Lucio profit from all of this.
40 seconds
It's
left.
profiting off of the disorganization. And the chaos of the fight wasted about 9 ultimates in about 2 to 3 minutes. So now we're set back to nothing. Closest person here to their ultimate would be Nano here. Following that would probably be Tyre. There's an anti that comes out. Nano is popped out. Junker Queen is W keying. Nano is online. Backline is being threatened as a Genji soon farms. Feast or famine as Genji and Tracer farms on the backline. Anakin low. Ana takes a pop shot. It's feast or famine. Sink or swim. I think a lot more Junker Queen benefits from a lot more of a slower tempo team like Ramatra, Baptiste. And I think they need to commit to a lot more of a brawling, chaotic fight. Or have a lot more of a punishing team to punish their chaos.
Absolutely. Wow, what a match.
What a match.
Yeah, just all the plays that just happened right now. Brookdale getting at the end there. They were so close to being able to finally take the point. I feel like every single ultimate ability in the game popping in that one fight.
You can see because nobody had ults online for that last bit until Nano came on. I think absolutely Brookdale might have won that every single time. But the thing is that between Junkrat and Ash, you have a lot of kill pressure.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like I agree with kill pressure in every scenario, but what's missing in their composition is the Mei.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, but Mei closes that distance. She is the chaos to punish chaos.
Yeah.
Your Junker Queen tries to W key without her team for a second to kite you back. Wall comes out and her shout is forced, and she is panicking on the other side.
Absolutely.
I think the Mei is absolutely crucial because I do agree Trap is very good. It is a good CC tool. But the fact that Wall comes out every 14 seconds, her primary naturally slows you, which you have to use shout to combat that slow. It's way too much utility that you're passing up.
And yet,
I like the Bob. I think the Bob is great for holding
the Bob was great. The Bob was fantastic.
Especially how Anakin followed up on that Bob's pressure as a second tank almost. It was very important to do that.
I was literally about to say to have that second tank, to have that
But the problem is that Junker Queen can realistically rush in, die, and then her team picks up scraps of what she left. And then her team dies and she re-engages at that last second with a support ultimate on. You see the enemy team taking a Diva, Genji dive type of approach here. They clearly want to stage Ana somewhere safely and just let the backline feast and famine. But it's a lot harder to stage against a dive team here. Diva's meant to contest the high ground that Brookdale is sent up here. But it's very interesting as Ramatra's the one trying to contest it. Diva is very low here, and the Ana's not safe staged up back there.
So is Kiriko in a second here. Nope, that's Diva, sorry. What is
They're staggering. That's why.
Okay.
I think they personally could have let her live a little bit longer to stagger her further.
Probably.
The point is, especially with Diva Mech, you have to hold left click to build, and a lot of players will just rely on them just blowing up instantly. So if you're forced to be left alive, now you have to focus on building ult charge, which is
Genius
drawing out
play.
time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I even do that in my own ranked games. We can see Junkrat's on this angle here, setting up on the choke here. But that map point is split between the high ground and the background over there, where Ana and Cassidy are set up. But Remix here is not letting Cassidy or Ana have any peace or mind. While the backline is completely getting mogged, Remix is mogging their backline. But which backline falls first? Brookdale. Opposite soon collapses. Numbers collapse afterwards as Immortality Field is forced. We're down against... Mech is forced! And the tank is down! That's too crucial to pass up of an opportunity.
Even though seeing Half-Track
as we were mentioning that 5v5, it's too important after the tank dies. It's the end-all be-all. Anti comes out. He doesn't have enough to come out, to heal out, and just forces sit and block.
And I think seeing Brookdale go down here, that's the end of it. There's
even
no
mentioning
way
that
for them to get
Anti
back
right
quickly
then
enough.
and there. We saw the Kiriko swap, but it wasn't enough.
It was not enough.
It was way too much. And it's one more game till it's over?
Till it's over, or if Brookdale starts winning, which, I mean, I believe in them.
Down to the wire.
We've seen them perform better in worse situations. I know they have it in them, especially when they were able to come out here at the beginning and win that first round and show them you're not going to disrespect us. I think they can pull it off. They just gotta get in the game here. I mean, it's a really hard team to play against. There's a lot going on constantly. Bryant keeps plugging out a couple better placed ults, forcing out a couple abilities, a couple ults,
or having a certain few picks that are absolutely crucial against Brookdale's composition. Because I agree with Brookdale. Have fun with what you play, and if what you play is Lucio, Ramantra, Juno backline, and you W key them till they're dead, have fun. The problem is that there's other teams here that are looking to counter swap and ruin your day and make your ranked games come to the professional environment.
And that's Brookdale just need either to just find the right method of playing this comp that'll be able to get around it, which is going to be really hard, or to counter swap. And I don't see them counter swapping. I think they might be able to find the way around it. I mean, you see how much potential the team has.
I see that they're trying to cook up something, but I think it's just that each time Bryant brought something new. First on Antarctic, we saw them actually 4v5ing, and of course they lost. But afterwards, they saw our initial team comp and made corrections, knowing that our healers had a weaker time being able to keep our tank alive in our backline. So they profited off of that with Arisa and Fortify to be able to buy her time and Javelin Spin to keep Anakin away, while her backline is able to keep Arisa up. And in situations where the backline is being attacked, Arisa has Fortify to keep herself up.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of Antarctic Peninsula, we saw the Ana Lucio backline come out, and it's a lot more of a dangerous glass cannon composition. But you see it right then and there. Those antis had so many impacts, and we see it even in the King's Rogan.
We have to find our way. Oh, are we doing Kiriko? That might be the play, especially with all the antis. That might be the play here.
I can understand a Kiriko Ramantra backline here. I think Ramantra leans more into a brawl, while Kiriko leans way more into a dive. And
I mean, I could see it working here generally. I think they would mostly be doing it for the cleanse, and I think the cleanse will be
absolutely crucial.
Absolutely crucial here,
especially against the anti here. But then if that's the response, then we'll be seeing them respond with other swaps outside of their supports.
This is push, huh?
Nobody likes push.
I'm just surprised. I thought push was map 4. All right.
Game begins here. I wonder how Brookdale will be responding.
I see the Ashe. We are sticking with the Kiriko, Ashe, Lucio,
I don't mind Ashe. It's just
Junkrat.
And it looks like there's polar opposites within this composition. So to break it down, as Omni-Man would say to Mark, we can see that Brookdale leans more into a brawlier type of support backline here. But it doesn't feel like that they're leaning towards one way, but a little bit of everything. And then fat anti. The ball soon comes out. I was going to say that I think that we don't have a little bit of everything between a little bit of brawl, poke, and dive. While that clearly Bryant is way more leaning into that dive with the Sombra ball. And that the antis completely set up a perfect lineup that the backline will just be feasted upon. With Ball being able to just do what they want. Absolutely. Will Anakin in Ball's face be a threat? Yeah. Can Ball roll away and get away for free?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we saw there. The squishies can, but Anakin will be perfectly fine. But Anakin
what can
needs
Anakin
his
do
team.
without his squishies?
And you could see how much aggressive space they just took off of that. and how much they just backed off. They were all the way in their spawn, and just in a matter of seconds, based off of that space they just forced, they kited backwards, and now look how much space they made.
Oh, able to take out the Ana. Very good pick. Very crucial pick, even.
Absolutely. Spacing is very important here. And mentioning spacing, Anakin's spacing here is absolutely important because he knows Ana is the weakest link upon their team.
Yeah.
Nothing can help Ana. Maybe Ash Coach Gun, Sombra can translocate, Lucio can roll out, and is ball rolling around.
Ana's got
But Ana, she's an old grandma that needs to go ahead and get that, what's that red button thing?
The life alert. No, we see Anakin go down
life
here,
alert for her
struggling
back
to the
line.
ball. Getting him back into the fight is kind of crucial. They're able to take the first checkpoint just because he's down, and the team isn't really able to rally without him. They
Absolutely.
have so much.
It's a dangerous game of chasing this Ana and being able to keep yourself with your backline. And especially against this composition, it's going to be way rougher. I think Brawl 110% wins, but now you could see that Opposite made a swap to Tracer here to be able to stealth check and keep the Sombra at bay.
Really nice, Suzu.
Suzu was absolutely life-changing. I know I didn't comment on it, but that was a micro play right there. I really wish we could have highlighted a pass. Mines are coming out here as the backline is forced to be forced back.
Anakin just going right at his ass, saying, you need
Kitsune
to die.
is up. Anakin is completely W-king with Nemesis up. Nemesis is forced his ball is below about 33%. You can see the enemy backline on the left side and ball on the right side. The enemy team is completely disorganized as Brookdale moves as a core with the push bot.
Absolutely.
This is exactly what we need from a brawler type of composition.
Ana down again. Fantastic. Completely
Opposite is here to be able to keep that Sombra away and keep that Ana on her toes. Because without that Ana on her toes, Brookdale will be a victim of that Sombra.
Ooh, the hack.
EMP comes out.
And down.
Numbers are being traded. Brookdale is down one. We need to make another to trade it out here. Trades do not come through, but Anakin is sitting on point, but he's low.
Oh,
Nemesis doesn't come out. He's killed.
Saving the Nemesis.
He had cooldowns there, but I think the fact that he dropped so low, it really should have came out sooner.
Yeah, it really should have if he wanted to stay alive.
He had Annihilation. He had
I think
Nemesis.
he might want to hold on to Annihilation just for the next push or something. I don't know.
I really think he needs a lot more of a self-sustain here.
Yeah, I agree.
think the Junkrat is the weakest. Junkrat and Lucy here are really weak. The antis come out and you can recognize them, but Suzu's come out.
Uh-oh! Opposite able to survive that with a perfectly placed recoil.
She didn't. The Tracer didn't pulse on us, so that's why she didn't die.
Yeah.
Because personally, if I got pulsed out and if I slept a Tracer, I would walk right on top of Tracer and kill her with the pulse.
Yeah.
Make it 1-for-1 and get her out.
I mean, with that trade is just
numbers are coming out as Ash slowly picks off the disorganized backline. We see the backline on their team make a swap into a Moira Lucio. This is very famous for being a part of GOATS, being a lot more of a disorganized backline. And during this disorganization, Annihilation is popped, but everyone runs away from Anakin because everyone's much faster than Anakin. Reason why the Brawl really doesn't work into the dive. They get to control the tempo, they get to control the timings, they control the engages. And Brookdale is utterly forced to respond with cooldowns, and are a victim to their mind games. There's nothing more they can do. They're forced to be on the back foot no matter what. White moves first, but Black has to move second. And fortunately, Bryant is the first one moving. We see Beat comes out. Better Beat comes out as Brookdale wins!
Let's go!
Better Beat matters there, but Remix gets traded out, so it doesn't matter in the end. It's a 4v4. Opposite is half. Cortex is low. Cortex gets traded out by the Moira, being able to sustain longer against Brookdale's composition. Hazrat gets picked out. Hack comes out.
There. Oh.
Everyone is collapsed.
That Sombra is such a menace here. Just constantly able to get them a little bit more damage.
It's not even the Sombra. It's a mix of everything here.
It's a mix of everything, but
Bryant
the Sombra
is able to just sustain a lot longer compared to Brookdale. Between Junkrat and Kiriko, I don't mind Kiriko's healing. I think she's an amazing healer. But she doesn't bring the exact numbers that an Ana or Baptiste or a Moira that can bring. And I think that's exactly what they're lacking because there's too much being forced out of Sombra's hacks, where there's too much damage coming in to the point where the talismans mean nothing. So then you have to Suzu, and when you don't have Suzu, what do?
You're done, and that is the issue. Oh, Anakin really trying to push.
It's a matter of cooldowns here. We see space being taken, the push bot being pushed back. 4 minutes on the clock with about 110 meters of difference. Who knows what will happen here? Disorganization is reeking through the fight. Kitsune is soon popped.
Nice pick.
2 big picks come out from Remix and Anakin here with their tank down. Remix gets a third with Sombra soon blowing up.
Oh, keep it and
Anakin dropped
yeah.
a critical, but Isuzu is forced out. Tracer forced to go ahead and walk from spawn. I know this walk of shame way too much.
Yeah, that's what we don't like about push here. Ooh,
Nobody
Annihilation
likes
about to
push.
come up here. Very Annihilation and
It's
Tiger
very
here, both
interesting,
very
but I
helpful.
think knowing fully well that their down numbers are trying to take a risky engage for about a few seconds with Lucio stalling. But you can
Anakin
see Anakin
pushing
doesn't
so
pay any
hard.
mind to anyone. That he only cares for those that cause pressure to his team.
Yeah. And I honestly, that
I agree
maybe
with
is the way
that.
he needs to play here because with the team constantly getting like basically just disorganized and pushed around, Anakin really needs to stop that pressure from coming to
I
his
agree
team.
with it. He's doing the right thing. He is a very smart
It's just
tank.
a struggle because he puts himself so far out with Ramatra. Ramatra has trouble getting back to safety, so he gets surrounded.
Problem especially, Bryant is looking for picks off of Ash headshots or Sombra hacks with ball dives. And either one of those are big initiators for their fight. While for us, we have to be on the counteract. We have to look to punish those and look for responses. You can see the responses are being met as counter dives
Three
are
big
met with
picks here? Did they
Cortexa
get the
going
Moira?
off of the enemy Sombra. And Anakin's going off of that. But Miro gets a headshot on the Tracer, and Miro deploys Bob.
Ooh,
Bob,
down the
his
back
best
line.
friend here, is soon holding the space and gets a pick off of Kiriko. Proto kills Cortexa. Proto gets Remix. Junkrat and Lucio are offline. Numbers are disorganized and Chaos is thrown apart.
Ooh, Anakin
Staggers are
went down.
coming out as Anakin comes out while the team is completely ready to engage. But they can't do anything because Anakin's not there. It's absolutely devastating, and this
We gonna
could
see
be the
Are we
end.
going to see a pulse here? No.
I genuinely believe a pulse on that, what's his name, could just be life-changing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't
Ooh,
happen.
what a-
He's
what
forced
a set
chasing
of
around.
minds.
Tracer's blinks are being forced around chasing. Set gets a pick on the Junkrat here.
Oh, not able to
Sombra
teleport
gets a
out.
pick
Ooh.
there. Annihilation comes out, but who is there to really benefit? There's no one there. There's too much disorganization thrown apart.
And I don't think- I don't know
Chaos
if
is
Britzo gets
utterly
back
met
fast
as
enough.
an EMP is met from spawn. Absolutely just annihilating.
They had a couple really good plays there, a couple really good team fights. But at the end of the day, the dive comp that Bryant
Dive
brought
composition off of
put
the major
too much
poke.
pressure. It just put too much pressure
Between
on him.
the crucial picks off of Sombra and ball dives doing so much damage or getting headshotted twice by Ash,
Yeah.
it was way too much where the enemy team would respond. Even then, like, if it wasn't those guys, it was a nasty on-a-nade from the back line.
Yeah, absolutely. As you were sorry to cut you off. I thought I had a thought and I didn't. You could,
I really think it was those core points that I brought up that kind of hampered down on us, because I think Brookdale absolutely can play it within its reality. There is 1 in 14 billion different realities Dr. Strange has predicted where we win this match. 110%. But just not this reality, sadly. There is no multiverse, sadly.
absolutely, and it is.
It's a shame that we lost.
It is a shame.
We do have a good track record, but honestly,
Absolutely.
sometimes a good loss is what you need. And moving on from the loss sadness,
Moving on.
what we need is another advertisement for
our merch.
a bottle of water. Who wouldn't want a Brookdale bottle of water? Written with
Bottle of
Brookdale
water?
Esports all over it. Would you like
It's
to
got-
take away
it's-
with it this time?
Thank you. That was
I
very
went crazy
nice of
last
you.
time, don't
Anyway,
worry.
so look at this bottle of water, right? See, bottle of water. You know what makes this better than any normal bottle of water? The Brookdale logo on it. Brookdale might have lost that Overwatch game, but you could be winning right now with this Brookdale Esports water bottle. This thing holds the ambrosia of the gods in it. Any water that you put in it becomes better than G Fuel, becomes better than Gamer Substance, becomes the best type of liquid in the world.
Turns
You know
water
why?
into wine.
Because it's labeled with Brookdale Esports on it. That's what makes it great. Anyway, we have other things. Hold on. Take it away, Monk.
More merchandise that I believe you are bringing up. First, have you ever complained about not having a mouse space? Have you ever tried to flick to the Reyna that's peeking you on the right and soon solo peeks you, clicks your head and you can't respond to anything? Why don't you have a mouse pad to fix that problem? Swing your mouse over. Click those heads.
Has so much mouse space on it, I could start a small civilization on it, I'm telling you. It is insane.
This is enough mouse pad that I can actually properly do my homework like this instead of the classrooms where I have small desks. This is like the size of 2 desks.
It could even be 3 if they're really, really small.
I feel like that's a little bit of a reach, but like still, it's ginormous. Like my mouse pad at home is like half the size of this.
My
Like
mouse pad isn't a mouse pad, and I could use one of these. So you know what? Maybe I'll be buying it. If I'm buying it, you know you want it.
And if you're going to be buying anything else, I think you should accompany it with a backpack.
This backpack will carry your mouse pad, your water bottle, your anything you want perfectly. You want to carry some
Anything?
sheets?
You say anything? What if I want to wear a shirt in that
Oh
bag?
my god, you can put the shirt right in. It'll carry
Oh my god, there's no way I could.
jersey, you got your Brookdale Esports backpack. I mean, you're branded with Brookdale Esports, but you can carry all this stuff. This backpack is so good at backing your pack that it can pack every single back in the gosh dang backpack. You got anything else for me to show off to our lovely viewers?
Along with the hoodies that we also have some fantastic hoodies and t-shirts.
Oh,
the fact below
fantastic
us.
hoodie. Why don't you take a look at
Now
this?
you could go ahead and put these inside of your backpack.
This is actually a limited time edition t-shirt. You know, this is currently we're only selling a couple of them, so you got to come down pretty soon if you want it. Look at feel the fabric on this sweatshirt. Why don't you take a look? It is so
I
nice.
actually want that.
This is high quality. I don't even
There's
know
like
what it is.
similar
Cotton
fabric
or
to my
something,
hoodie now.
but it's very nice. You're gonna
It's
want
very
it.
nice.
It's very. You're
And
gonna
this
wanna take it,
t-shirt,
of course.
this is a perfect t-shirt to go ahead
What
and grab,
a
put in your
t-shirt.
put in your dresser, and then proceed to go ahead and wear it as a pajama shirt.
Oh, it would be a fantastic pajama shirt. If you could feel the quality, you would understand. It's silky smooth. It's like I'm petting a silkworm right now. It is beautiful, honestly.
Who needs a memory foam mattress when you have the perfect t-shirt? to
I
sleep
could
in?
make a mattress out of these t-shirts, and I think it would be better than the mattress I have at home. It is just beautiful. You're really gonna want one of these. Trust me.
Absolutely.
And I believe that's all the merch we have. Buy it. Here it is.
Anyways, thank you again for another game of Overwatch. Brookdale Esports against Bryant Stratton and what do we have
Bryant
coming up
Stratton.
next?
Valorant tomorrow. I will be casting that, so look forward to it. Valorant tomorrow at 7.
You'll be seeing him again.
Yeah,
You guys have a wonderful
Whether
night.
you want to or not. Have a fantastic night.